I'm 22 years old, a sociology student focusing on narratives of patriarchal resilience. My weekends are usually spent drafting protest plans about internalized misogyny on campus. I also think a lot about how to prove that women actually run the world. I once organized a library protest because they kept Jordan Peterson books on the same shelf as women's rights books. I call myself digitally anti-fragile, but I block every man who says not all men. I feel pretty righteous about it. I've always believed men had it easy. They don't get creeped on walking at night. They aren't judged for how they dress. They get promoted for just breathing. One night, I'm scrolling through Twitter and post a thread, reminder, being a man is not hard. It's just unchecked privilege. The post gets 1,700 likes. Then some guy quote retweets me. His handle is something like Real Mindset Guy 1991. I roll my eyes. He replies, try living as a man before you say that. I laugh and quote him back, cry about it then. But something about it sticks with me. Not because he was right, but because I wanted to prove how wrong he was. I text my roommate Sam and tell her I have a social experiment idea. I'm going to create a fake male profile on Tinder and Bumble and document how easy it is to be a guy. She's immediately in and says she'll help pick photos. We choose stock images of a mid-tier hot guy. Nothing crazy, beard, soft eyes, bookstore vibe. We name him Noah. His bio says, book lover. Coffee over clubs. Looking for something real. I'm ready to prove my point. On day 1, I swipe for nearly 2 hours and get 2 matches. 2. One of them unmatches after 10 minutes. The other never replies. What the hell? I figure maybe I picked bad photos. I ask a guy friend from school to look at the profile. He says, these are solid. Okay, so it's not the photos. I post on my Instagram story, social experiment. Trying dating apps as a guy. Updates soon. The comments are mostly laughing emojis, except one girl who messages, OMG, you're going to feel pain. I don't think much of it. Day 2. I swipe right on everyone and get 4 matches. One girl opens with, you better be 6 feet. Another asks for my Instagram immediately and never replies after I say I don't use it. The third sends one-word replies. The fourth never responds at all. I message the one who did reply and try to keep the conversation going. I ask her about her book recommendations. She replies, just Google it. I start feeling weird. Not sad, not mad, just kind of hollow, like I'm performing just to get basic human interaction. I post an update, dating apps as a guy? Men must be so emotionally repressed from this dry energy, lol. I'm still trying to keep the tone light. Day 3. I try Bumble, where women have to message first. I get 2 matches. None of them message. I think they might be bots too. What even is the point of the app then? I change Noah's bio to be more flirty, bonus points if you love hikes and horror films. I swipe again and get 1 match. The girl opens with, what do you drive? I tell her, does a bike count? She unmatches immediately. I text Sam, okay, maybe this is weirdly hard. She replies, lol, duh. Welcome to the war zone. I talk to my guy friend again and ask him, is it really like this? He just laughs and says, I wish I got as many rejections as you. I usually just get ignored. No joke, that hits me. Over the next few days, I repeat the same pattern. Swiping, messaging everyone first, getting left on read, ghosted, unmatched. I start changing my message openers. I try jokes, compliments, deep questions. Nothing makes it better. I open YouTube and for some reason get suggested videos on why men are single now. They're making it look like it's our fault, lol, I think. But I start watching videos by dating coaches anyway. I see titles like Why Women Swipe Right on Only 5% of Men. I thought it was incel talk, but now I'm watching them on 1.5x speed at midnight like it's gospel. My journal entry reads, maybe men don't hate women. They're just exhausted. I immediately cross it out. Day 6. I get one match who replies for more than 3 lines. Her name's Maya. The talking seems decent. Then she says, so what's your real height? I say, 5'10". She says, that's kind of mid, NGL. What the hell? This girl's bio literally said, be kind. I spend the whole day quiet, overthinking. What if the men I dismissed before were just tired? Not emotionally unavailable, just worn down. I try not to spiral, but now every story I remember feels different. The guy who gave me flowers after 2 dates, I told him he was love bombing. The TA who offered to carry my books, I tweeted about mansplaining through actions. The guy who held the door open, I ignored him and didn't even look up. Noah's inbox is an absolute graveyard. I realize it's not rejection. It's invisibility. And it stings. I sit at my desk and stare at my own reflection. I feel like apologizing, but I don't even know to whom. Maybe all of them. I text Sam, I think I'm done. This isn't funny anymore. She replies, honestly, I thought you'd last 2 days tops. I log out of Noah and delete the apps. The silence feels heavy now. I reopen my thread on Twitter and read the replies. I realize how smug I sounded, how loud I was when I didn't know. I go to comment, type something, then delete it. Maybe I'll write something one day. Not now. I'm too busy holding what I just learned. And it's heavy. The next morning, I still feel weird, like I opened a door and saw something I wasn't supposed to. I scroll through my group chat. Girls are talking about their dates. He wore cargo shorts, lol. Immediate ick. This brokey brought coupons to dinner. He said he liked his mom. Red flag. He probably has mommy issues. I used to laugh at these messages. Today I just stare. I remember one guy on Noah's profile who messaged, you seem thoughtful. What brings you here? I didn't reply. Too generic, I thought. But now, maybe he was trying. Maybe that was his best shot. Is that why so many men are gay now? I sit on my balcony with the sun hitting my legs, thinking about how I used to say men just don't try anymore. But what if they're trying and we don't let them finish their sentence? I sip cold coffee and realize I used to roll my eyes when guys talked about effort. Effort looked like roses, money, reservations. I never thought about the tiny texts or typing out a good first message 10 times, then deleting it. I think of the guys I matched with. Some took 24 hours to say hey. I unmatched before they could try again. I told myself they weren't confident, but maybe they were scared, like I would be now if I had to try. I think of my ex from freshman year. We ended things when I said he lacked ambition. He replied, I just wanted to enjoy life without proving it. I called him lazy. We never spoke again. I message him, hey, random, but I hope you're doing well. He replies, wow, unexpected, but thanks. I am. My heart hits the floor. No accusations, no shade, just warmth. How? I go for a walk, thinking about how I used to filter men. If they didn't have therapist-tier emotional intelligence by date 2, unmatched. If they liked Joe Rogan or didn't post BLM stuff, unmatched. If they complimented my looks first, unmatched. If they didn't, also unmatched. I realize maybe we weren't looking for love. We were filtering out any man who acted like one. I open Instagram and see a post from an activist friend, reminder, men know us better. I scroll past and don't even like it. It's the first time that's happened. I meet Sam later that night. She asks, so, what's the debrief? I tell her, I don't think men are okay. She laughs. Duh. But I mean it. I tell her about Noah, about the ghosting, the dryness, the rejection without reason. How it's not just about ego, it's about erasure. Sam is quiet for a second, then says, but they still run everything. I nod, but inside I think, if that's power, why does it feel so cold? The next day, I see my male coworker Marcus. I used to think he was cringy, too nice. He always brought in snacks and asked if people needed help with tasks. We made fun of him in DMs. Today, I just say, hey, thanks for always being thoughtful. He pauses like I spoke in Morse code, then says, wow, thanks. His voice cracks a bit. I think of all the times I dismissed kindness, called it manipulative, coded every male action as suspect. Now I wonder what they must think of us. I walk back to my desk and feel my face get hot. Why did it take me 4 years to say thanks? I remember in sophomore year when Marcus stayed late helping us on a group project. One of the girls joked, Marcus just wants attention. We all laughed. He didn't. I thought he was too sensitive. Now I know he was probably just done being a joke. How many other guys had I laughed at for being decent? How many did I push closer to silence? Must be some male brainwashing. I can't believe I'm thinking so hard about all this. Suddenly I have a thought. I remember many guys talking about asking other dudes for advice on Reddit. Seems like a thing only insecure men would do, but okay. I log into Reddit and go to r/askmen. I start reading old posts. One says, what's something women will never understand about being a man? The top reply, we don't get touched. Ever. Another says, we can go weeks without a compliment. No one asks us if we're okay unless we're dying. I scroll for an hour and feel tears forming. Why didn't anyone tell me? Or did they, and I just muted them all? I start journaling. If I'm honest, I wasn't angry at men. I was angry they stopped trying for me. I pause, then delete it. Too raw. Sam texts me, we should write about this. Dating apps as a guy. Social peace. I reply, not ready yet. She goes, LOL, don't go full tradwife on me. I laugh, but only with my mouth, not my eyes. I go back on Tinder, scrolling as myself this time. Messages from dudes again. Some sweet, some weird, some thirsty. But now I read them differently. Not all bad. Some awkward, some just trying. Some don't know how else to be seen. I start replying. Not because I'm interested, just to not be another silence. A small rebellion. I talked to one guy, mid-tier, bio says he's into jazz and cooking. He asks me my favorite poem. I say I don't have one. He says, that's okay. Mine changes daily. I pause. That was kind of beautiful. We talk for 2 days. Not flirty, just human. He tells me about his dad passing, his dog growing old. I listen. Then he ghosts. I feel that sting. But now I get it. He gave more of himself than most ever will. Maybe he ran dry. Maybe he just couldn't do it again. I realize we expect men to chase but punish them when they arrive breathless. I walk to campus and see a student group with signs, End Male Violence. Toxic masculinity hurts everyone. I used to chant with them. Today I just watch. I think, we don't even ask if men are okay before telling them they're dangerous. I go home and sit in silence. I write in my journal again, they weren't all bad people. Just mostly losers that can't meet our standards. So why should we settle? I still post pro-feminist stories. I still believe in equality. But now when someone says men have it easy, I don't nod. I just say, you should try it sometime. And I mean it.